This is Troy. Welcome back to my channel. Today, what I'm going to be doing is, well, let me first explain. I was out on my porta-boat this weekend, and my trailer wheels, one of them, the wheel was getting caught, so I took it off and straightened it, tried to put it back on in the water. Never should leave them on the boat in the water. I did, so it popped off and sunk to the bottom of the lake. So now I'm stuck with only one porta-boat wheel. Dolly. Called the company, $319, but because I'm existing, they said I could get it for $200 plus shipping and tax, so I'm probably looking at $260, $270, and I thought, a little more than I want to spend right now. So let me show you first. I went to my local metal shop and I got some 10 gauge aluminum, which is exactly what this is made with. This piece is probably enough that I can make two. Like I say, it was just in their scrapyard, so this was $20. So I've drawn out 4 pieces. This piece right here, and then there's a 4-inch piece here. So straight cut there, right here, and then a cut across here, which is using a jigsaw with fine tooth blade, and then exactly 8 inches across right here, and this piece here that moves up and down with a 90-degree, and then it kind of contours over. I'm going to use a 2x4 to get that shape. I think a router to drill a hole and then just router down to get those tracks. I've already bought all the nuts and bolts and screws from my local hardware store. They cost about $10. I bought a wheel that's $23 at Walmart. It's not the wheels. I'm probably going to end up buying 2 new wheels, but this wheel will work temporarily, and I'll show you that. But make sure, just to cut these straight lines, you want a jigsaw with a fine-toothed blade. So let's get this first cut done. Make sure you got your safety glasses on. Just go real slow. Cutting nice, it's going to be slow, don't want to go too fast, but a nice clean straight cut. I just unplugged it. take a file down these edges, get a nice edge on it. But this piece is the one that's going to take this contour to make this upper piece. Now these holes here, I'm going to drill it, stick a router in and pull. That's how I'll get those two shapes, I'm pretty sure. And then this is like a 90 bend here. So I'll put this in my, find where I want the 90, bend that on the bench, and then I'll use a 2x4 here to show you. I believe a 2x4 to work out this other bend, just slowly working it with a rubber mallet. So let me get the other two pieces cut, this one and then this smaller piece here. I'm just gonna, instead of riveting like they did, I'm just gonna bolt it. As you can see, this one I've worked on before and had to change some rivets to bolts anyways. I just went with some bigger bolts for this. So this is going to be a lot harder cuts. Got the full length. I'll probably go halfway here and then the other half. So let's get that cut. And I should have enough material to make a whole nother one, I'm guessing. Got my shirt caught. Okay. Get this off. Make sure it's nice and easy. Definitely chewing up the teeth on here. So got two bits, and it's probably going to take both bits to make all the cuts, but it's wore off a little section. So I'm going to go right now and adjust this down a little bit or up, and then be able to use a little bit different bite. And hopefully one bit I'll at least get this other length cut. I left that inside, so I'll be right back. Okay, my mistake. I let the guy at the store pick out the bits, and the bits he picked out were for a thin metal. You just want to get a metal bit. But I went ahead, I'm putting the other one on. I'm hoping to at least get these cuts finished. I don't think I will, but I'm going to try. Put the new bit in. You know, it's $2 for blade. So if I don't get it finished cutting today, I guess tomorrow. Or I could run to Home Depot. This. side. I don't want to run. I'm probably going to just run to the hardware store and get another bit. It's just not worth risking it. Run up to the hardware store and get a better metal bit, but I got almost through, got to about here. Even if I get the same bits, blades, $2 or $4 to cut it, it's just, I'd rather have a sharp blade than work with this thing. I got, you know, I still got that cut to make down here. I got to make one cut across, plus from here to here. So that's what I'll do, and I'll get it all cut, and then I'll show you the pieces when I'm done. I got a better bit with a thicker metal bit. I'm gonna have a little filing to do on the edges. But this piece is going to become this upper piece here. Once I bend it, this will become that piece. I'm going to put the 90 in it and then bend it around on a 2x4. These I'll cut with a router. I'm pretty sure drill a hole, put a router in, clamp a board on it and use it to guide it. That's how I'm going to do that. This piece here is the one I'm going to contour to be this. So this one's 4x8. This one's going to become this piece down here. So once it takes the bend, that'll be that piece. And this piece here, I'll file the edges, clean them up. You know, even if it's not 100% perfect, it's going to be real close. This one will just have the one bend in it right there to here. So, boom, and it'll have that bend. So that'll be the easiest piece to bend. Just put one bend in it. And they have 4 holes. The upper holes here, square cut, and here. I think what I'm going to do is just put 2 holes, because I've never used these other 4 holes. And I don't know if at one time it had 4 bolts on it or what, but I've always used it with just 2. So I'm not even going to put, I'll just do a hole here and here, get a little file and square them off by hand. So, and then down here to mount this one, I'm just going to drill 2, 3, 5 bolts with lock washers. Now that I think about it, I need to bring those bolts that I got back, because I need them to be smooth, small heads. I put small bolts in here and they work just great. I don't know if you can see, but I got some bolts like that. Instead of riveting it, I'm just going to bolt it on. I have, the only thing holding this on is 3 bolts, and this one's been working great forever because all these rivets popped off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rivets that they put in it. I put, I don't know if you can see, 1, 2, 3 bolts down here, and it's held and stronger as can be. So those are the 3 pieces there. And then I bought a 12-inch tire for now. Eventually I'll probably, because this tire's got a tear in it that's older, I'm going to just order 2 matching 13 3/4 inch tires. So that'll match. So first thing I'm going to do is just hand file all these edges and get them somewhat smooth. It did take a little dig right here, but it's really not going to affect the structure of the boat. That's just, when I changed to that thicker bit, it did want to crawl on me because I got less teeth. So you want to make sure you get a thick metal fine tooth and just go real slow. Stopping and restarting it kind of gave me a little thing here. I do have enough material, I can cut another one, but it's just the trick is to just go really slow. You're in no hurry. So I'm going to find the bend point to this, and this one's going to be real simple. I'm just going to probably put it on my stairs. Once I find the point to bend it, I'm just going to show you here. I'm probably just going to, once I find where I want it, I'm going to just put it here, push it until I get that bend that matches the duplicate of that one. Sorry, I don't have a exact science to this one or an exact measurements, but I do have the previous one to work off of. And if you were to put it in the center of your chest, you can see how it just, because this is a separate piece here. So if that gives you any guide to the angle that you're going to want it to be, because I'm just going to match this one to where I put it up next to it and it's exactly the same. Bend it here. That's where I'll put it on the stairs and get that bend. It's tight when you wedge this in. This whole thing kind of bows back when you clamp it on the boat. So I'm just going to mirror this measurement, and then this one I'll give you the, once I figure out the measurement of where I'm going to do the bend. So I'll measure from here up, and that'll tell me about where I get the bend. Even if you had this piece here a ½ inch shorter or inch, even an inch shorter, it's really not going to affect anything. This pulls up, goes over, and pushes down. And wherever that grabs, this is your adjustment in your height. So I'll get that measurement, hold on, and we'll just bend that piece right now. Okay, so measuring that one, I would say, let me go this side. Put the wheel down there. So I'm going to say 9 inches is where the bend starts. This overall piece I cut at 20.5 by 8, 4 by 8, and the other piece the other one is 4 by 8 for the bottom one. And this piece is 8 as well by, I believe the piece that's on there was 11 for the adjustable piece. Off that scrap piece I had, I could take it off the top, and this was already at 10 7/8. So it's not going to make any difference that it's an 1/8 off. When I bend this one, I'll make the top the exact same, and then if the bottom is 1/4 inch difference, it's not going to matter at all. So here I've marked this one here at 9 inches. I'm going to go ahead and put a few more marks across so I know where that 9-inch mark is. Slightly leaving the pencil marks I put just on the stair. bit more, I can tell. But a lot more. Just slowly keep working it. And I don't know the exact, the only thing I could say is without holding the other one up, it was, you know, holding my head straight, it was like over here, holding this straight. So I need that to go that much. So slowly work it. I think we're getting close. That's not like right on. That's so close to being right on. Going off of that measurement to my head. I mean, we got that shape. So now we just gotta contour this piece. This one here, we're just gonna put a 90 at it. So this one I'll probably clamp in my bench inside and just get that 90 right about there. Then the rest of this will contour and bend around a 2x4. So I put in that mark here, so we can measure that. So coming up here, this is the one we're going to cut the channels in with the router. But this one is where I put the pencil mark. It's not an exact science, but what I'm going to say is where I'm going to put that 90 is 7 3/16 is roughly about where 7 1/8, 7 1/4, 7 3/16 is about where that 90 is going to be. That I'll bend in it. Then I'll put a 2x4 in here and I'm going to slowly massage that rest of it with a hammer and a mallet after that. So this will be more of a 90 bend. So this will go, I'll clamp this in my bench and just bend it. Slowly work it to where I get that 90 on this. So out here doing what I've done for today. Let's see, this will all be lickety split and quick for you. And this smaller one, I'm going to take a file. I'm not going to do that on camera, and I'm just going to file all my edges with a fine file because they don't have to be perfect. Like this is the edge I cut. It's not perfect, but I'm going to make that edge the part that I mount. As you can see, there's that wasn't perfect either. Here, that'll be where I put that edge, and this cleaner cut edge on the other side will be the one that I bend up into this point here. So it'll bend, and if this is to here or even up to here, it doesn't matter as long as you got this shape. And let's see, that bottom lip is 1 1/8 inch and 3/16. I would say the opening is 1 3/16. At the fatter point here is 1 3/16. So that's the shape I want, and I'll probably use a board or something to get that shape. Coming up here, there is only about 3/4 of an inch of the up lip, and what you have on this side does not matter. If it comes up to here, on the other one that fell in the lake, actually came up about this high. I think, you know, it was just the same amount of rivets down here, but it actually was a larger piece. They just had a piece and didn't recut it. So it doesn't matter. I've cut this one because it just happened to be perfect at 4 inches to match this one. This will probably be the hardest, and I'll first put that 90° in it. Probably the little 90, because I think I can get that other 90 off my bench. You know, like in the grip, because this smaller lip can tuck up into the grip. When I go inside, I'll show you guys on the camera because I can't really show you out here. So that being said, let's go inside and get that next step. Okay, so it's a little tight in here with the teardrop and everything on my other projects. So the smaller piece, hold on, yeah, so many projects going at once. Like I said, this lip here, just 3/4 of an inch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clamp here. I'm going to just measure, get that cleaner edge, straight edge. I'm going to measure up. Where's my pencil? Let me grab my, hold on, let me grab my square real quick. Okay, so we'll measure up. Go 3/4 of an inch. Come down here. 3/4 of an inch. Put the square here. Okay. Put that pencil across. Flip it on the other side. Continue the line. So it's not that side. I'm going to clamp down on it in the center here. It'd be nice if I had a bench that was bigger, but right there. Okay. Get that good and tight on there. There in the center, then I'm going to move it over, keeping it on the line. Right there. I'm going to keep working it. Clamp that good and tight. Shift it all the way to the other side, keeping it on that line. Keeping it on that line. And you just want to just take your time. A little bit more. Once you start to get your bend going, you'll not need to look at the pencil mark as much anymore. Want to make sure when you clamp it down each time, get that bend. It's just, you gotta slow work it, and you know, I can fine tune things. It's not gonna, you know, be a nice clean. It's gonna have a teeth mark in it, probably from my bench, but I don't mind. Sure it's down on it. Slowly working it. If I gotta file a little bit off, I will, but I'm pretty sure we're going right. I need to get a little better bend at this end here. There we go. A little sharper bend here. This a little bit to even it out. It's okay. I'm not building a pyramid or anything, but as you can see here, I don't know if that's gonna, oops. I don't know how I'm gonna hold that up to, that's the front lip there. So, it's getting real close to where it's gonna be. And then the other one, like I was hoping, I think I can manipulate it even, you know, you do the long side first in this thing. We're going to be doing the other one. It's going to be outside on a 2x4. You know, we'll put the 90 in here at the bench. But when we bend over that or wrap it around, it's going to be more outside, slow massaging. But the 90 we can put in like we're doing here. I'm going to clean this up and get it a little straighter. You know, having that little handle that goes in and out makes it nice. But If I had a nice piece of leather or something, I would say put the leather in and you won't get teeth marks like I'm getting when you clamp down. Even a good cloth or something would work. Hold on a second, let me get that. Okay. So, what I'm doing now is just getting a good straight lip on here. I am using a moving blanket now to try to take off the teeth a little bit, but doing it does seem to help. That's a good first edge. Let's see, there you go. For that first bend, which, oops, hard with it being on there to see, but let me see. The next bend, oops, sorry, right in your face there. We are gonna go 1 3/16 inches. So, put this here. I'm going to go to 1 3/16. Put this way. Put it here. This is just going off the existing one. So that said, put the square on. Put that line in. Both sides. Okay. So I got nice line drawn across. And while using this moving blanket, I think I'm going to double it up. What I want to do, it's a little tricky, but get it down in there. And then pushing that where I can find that line, clamp it down, and start bending it again. So, to show you here, what I've done, kind of hard with the moving blanket, but pull it to the side. So what you see is, there. How that's down in the hole, and I have the lip here on that next line where I'm going to start that next bend, and I'm going to keep sliding the piece up and down like I did with the first one. So that just spun the whole piece out. So just take your time. It might be too hard with the doubling up the moving blanket. I'm gonna have to go single. Make sure it's up enough. We'll start here in the center. Right there. There we go. ideally to have leather, a nice thick piece of leather to put in on both sides of your clamp when working is going to give you the best result. But I don't have that, and so I'm going to make do with what I have. Move it a little, work it a little, back and forth. No hurry. There. Down in there a little more. Slowly working it. Seems like the outside edge is going to be nice. With that, got a lot more to go, but I'm going to keep working it. Not a fast process by any shape or mean, but slowly getting that bend, and I'm real close. Let me see, to give you a visual here, what I'm getting close to what I want to match it. Like I say, it's going to go up higher than before, but like I said, the other one was way higher. I just want to kind of get that to where it's square, you know, like straight across. So I'm going to keep working it. And I'm working a hole in the blanket, but that's all right. closer. Real close. I think I just gotta work it just a little more. I think what I want to do, I think if I put it on the table this way, that exactly a little more. It doesn't always have to be in the place. Just massaging it, massaging it. Okay. Now I'm pretty sure that. Okay, let's check the gap. It's in 3/16. That's right on the money. It's a little more right here. Trying to destroy it. Okay. That is good. I can take a little grinder to it if I need to. If I need to widen it up a little bit. Here. Just massage it out a little bit. So, besides some minor tweaking and filing and buffing it out and drilling the holes, that's the step I'm at now. It's not exactly perfect. I did this with a piece of metal. I guess I could take a tool and try and give that a bit of a crease in the back more, like a stair tool, or not everybody's gonna have that. Let me see. But if you happen to be an old flooring contractor and have a stair tool, and you can try to put a little bit of a crease in the back, and with this I think I'll use a hammer to get a little better impact. But if you don't have this, you could use a chisel. What's nice about this is the edge isn't as sharp as a chisel, but what I'm trying to do is just give a little bit of a bend here along that back lip. Not much, just to give it that squarer look at the base. I don't think it's gonna matter because technically the boats, the rubber pieces on the boat are rounded. I'm just trying to get it to match as much as possible. You just kind of want those measurements I gave you with the 90. Getting it a little better on this side. I'm trying to give that more of an edge. You know, it's not complete science, but I'm almost 100% sure that this piece mounted on is going to work as well as the one that I have. You're going to do the same job. I'm going to bolt that one on. That'll be my bottom lip. This does need to be flattened out here. I think the best way to do this, a little bend, it's got a little bend in it. Put it in the vice grip. It's aluminum, so it's a little easier to work. Sometimes just grab the edge of it. Put your weight into it, or even too much. Let's see. Yeah. That's what I think. Too much. So we're just gonna cramp it down. There we go. Nice tight fit. And it's gonna take a little more loving. You want to get it right where it'll sit flat. And then this one, so this piece will mount on here. I'll give you the measurement up, drill the hole, but that's where we're at now with that bottom piece. So the top piece, which is here, it'll go on this side, and the bend will come around with the 2x4, and the wheel will be mounted both on this side, on this side. I did bring the wheel out, I think. I'll show you the wheel I bought temporarily to use. Hold on. Okay, this is the wheel I bought to use temporarily. This is 12-inch. I got two 13-inch wheels that are new because this wheel's cracking and old. We got two new wheels we're gonna order, but for now, temporarily, this little 12-inch wheel. As you can see, it's not perfect, but it'll get the boat in and out of the water. I'm gonna just mount it a little lower. I could always put another hole in, 2 holes, you know, one for this wheel, so it rides about the right height. It's only to pull it in and out of the water. Eventually I'll change to both the same wheel, but that's that step. So the next piece here, we want to put that 90 in it. We could do that right now. Let me see. That 90 we want to put right here. Let me see. Big pencil. Put that line there. So the rest of it will wrap around the 2x4. Put these over here. And like I said, for $20, this is the extra aluminum I had. Buying the aluminum. This was just a scrap piece they had together. So that measurement on this piece, the 8x11 sheet, the bend, well, actually what's more important is this upper lip that wraps over, but it definitely wraps over plenty. Let me see. Boom. It's about 3 3/4, and what do I got here? 3 3/4. So I'm gonna take, because I'm a little bit shorter, instead of measuring up from the bottom, I'm gonna move this down a little bit here. So I believe this was an 11, but to save on space and to have extra pieces, because this isn't going to matter, I want to make sure I have enough for my bend at the top. So with this 7/8 piece, I'm going to come down to 7 1/8. 10 7/8. So come over here, go 7 1/8. And this is the 90-degree angle we're going to try to get. This is going to be hard with this to get it, because I don't think I can go down deep enough. So I believe I can do some of it here. Mostly I can bend it over an edge of the bench. Just gotta massage it slowly. So let's get the square. Mark. Part of my process of doing things is not thinking it out and then doing the YouTube video for you. It's showing you my thinking process, which could be irritating some. Just skip through and find the points that are important and watch from there. But I try, everybody has a process of doing things and thinking it through. So do I. So what I'm going to do is hold this. I'm going to use my pencil mark on the top. Put this on the table, right on my pencil mark. If I had a skinnier bench, I'd clamp it down. Let me see here so you can see the new position. So I'm lining the pencil line on the top of the bench, and then I'm going to hold my hand here and just slowly massage. No hurry. You want to keep that line right on the edge. If I drilled those 2 holes in now, I could put a couple bolts in that would hold this thing down nicely for me. But that's okay. That chair is going to rattle. Let's move it over. There we go. You know what a could do. I'm going to take this and put the pencil mark on both sides. Pencil mark will come off. I would recommend a chisel. This is just going to be massage in a little bit of a crease to start with. Not even barely putting a little dent in it, but it's going to give me that mark that it'll start to fold on. It's my theory. I think drawing those holes might be the way to go. Even if it's just two temporary holes. Give me a second to think about this. So, what I'm doing on my table saw here, I got a piece of metal, steel, big heavy bench. For me, it's just the easiest way to get this first bend going. I'm holding this down to the pencil mark, and I'm just massaging slowly. My pencil mark. Gotta get that at 90, so just slowly work it. For both the angles, but now that I got it going, I think I'm just trying to give it a pre-bend at the top, so I'm sliding it up and down. A lot of it's just working, and that overall distance gap here in the top piece is about a 2x4. So that's about what I want to do. So just keep working it. Just gotta run with it. Once you get it going. I gotta take a router and cut a little bit off. I didn't have too much. We'll see. Come back here. Yeah, like I say, I have leather to put on so you don't get marks on yours. I personally don't have any leather. That's okay. Getting it to start to bend about where that 2x4 is gonna go. So when I get it, I'm gonna go down onto the concrete when I bend that one, and then fine tune it. About at that point now where I'm gonna do that. I'm trying to just get it a little bit pre-bent by hand, just to make it a little bit less work. So I got a long way to go, but not far. Let me see. It's actually going to be perfect. Might be a little long here. I might have to just take a jigsaw and just cut off an inch, quarter inch. I don't know. I'm just going as I go. I'm gonna just get it barely on the lip here. This inner lip, I'm gonna barely catch it. So when I push down, and I know everybody's not gonna have a piece of metal like this. Like I said, there's another way to grab it. Like I said, bolting it, drilling those holes first and bolting it to your bench will help you get that bend. Having a couple pieces of iron that you could bolt to your bench. If you have a couple pieces of 1-inch iron that you could put a quarter inch apart, bolt those on your bench and use that to get it. Let me pause, I got a call. Now I've gotten it bent over enough on the bench, you know, with the metal. I brought it down here on the floor where I can start bending it. And I'm going to use this 2x4 too to try and help me with the shape. I definitely recommend wearing gloves because okay. Now I might want to clamp it, but I don't know, maybe it'll just go. Let me see. it. See, this is the piece that I'm trying to replicate, and I'm really close to it. It's a little tighter bend, so I'm gonna go. Crooked on me. Maybe this way. In there. Real close. Not identical, but really close. Let's see. So this one will go here, and this one will go here, and the wheel will mount there. Looks like the next step is going to be drilling the holes. It's not an exact match, but I'm pretty sure this is going to work. To slide down on top. Just got to cut my two grooves in. This. Cut the two grooves up and down, and then the two holes there and the holes for that. So let me get on that. For these two holes on this piece, measuring an inch, quarter inch and 3/8 up to the bottom of the hole, and these are 4 inches long. So these don't have to be exact, but the spacing will be exactly where I put the spacing, you know, for these two bolts. But I'm gonna find the bit that fits this hole, drill it, and then put a router and cut that. So I've marked about where they're gonna go. I'm gonna just put a 2x4. Let me get it all set up and then I'll show you. I'm taking a hardened steel bit, just because the regular metal bits aren't drilling it as easy. I've mapped out, drawn 4 inches by the width of the bit. I'm going to come in here at the bottom of each of these and just got to get it started. Actually, the other bit does seem to get it started before this bit a little better, so. Bit seems to be working, but that other bit is the right thickness. So once I got it started, now I believe what this in a bit, and what I'm going to do is clamp the board with a couple of clamps. I'm going to clamp the board on the underside like so, right along that hole in that line, and that way it'll, with the bit I'm using, not the bit that's in it, but well, this type of a bit here, which is going to ride, you push it in the hole and then the ball rolls and it'll cut. This is too wide, I'm pretty sure. I know I have a smaller bit. Hold on a second. I believe I moved it inside. Hold on. Okay. The router was a bad idea, but I got the shape right. I'm going to have to rebend one. Cut the holes first using a drill and a jigsaw. That's the trick, because the router just moved around too much and I didn't want to make a jig for making one. So I'm going to rebend this and then I'll get on to the next step. Okay, so what I did was put this up against it, the top part, where it bows, the bow goes this way. And I marked the two holes, just drilled them slightly smaller than the carriage bolts. And as you can see, I drilled an extra 2 holes. But so hit those in and it makes it square. If you make it slightly smaller from whatever bolt you buy. And this will work just like that one, because this is the same here. Down. So then I just drilled a hole for the wheel. You want to get a bigger, at least a 13-inch wheel. This is just a temporary wheel I had, 12-inch, that I'm going to use. It'll work, but I'm going to change both the wheels to 13s. So the only thing left to do is on this side, I'm going to drill and rivet, or just get small enough bolts. And this is the bottom lip, which is just like that one. Oh, I don't know if I'm showing you the roof. Okay. This is the bottom lip here, just like that one, which I've already showed you how I bent that. This one, the first one, came out wrong, but I'm real happy with it. I mean, it's not 100% match, the angle up here, but it's 90% close. It's gonna function. I just gotta rivet that piece down there. So these holes, what I did was with this pushed all the way down, as close, not all the way, but with this pushed down about there, I just marked the top of those holes, because they're going to be lifting it up and sliding it down over the top of the boat. So 4 bolts. I could add 2 more bolts to give it a little more strength, but I've been working on those 2 bolts and I haven't had a problem with it, only when I try and put it on in the water. So I could add 2 more holes, just drill in 2 more of these holes, and you just want them slightly smaller than the carriage bolt side. So here, let me show you. So when I loosen these, and they'll slide up and down, those bolts are kind of married in there because of the aluminum. I smashed them in. Not, if you look on this side of this one, they cut square holes, but if you loosen up the bolt, oops, you can see how it comes out. Maybe there. So it doesn't matter if they're loose. So these bolts are a little shorter at the top, like here. These are, I made mine longer because I'm always loosening them and they're falling off, and then I'm looking for the pieces. So I'd rather it was a little longer. And this is the part that faces away from the boat, so it's not going to matter. You know what I mean? When those are tightened down. So putting 2 more holes in and 2 more bolts would just keep this from doing this a little bit when you get to a bigger boat, maybe, or wider side. You might find that you like having 2. I've been fine with just the 1, and I went a little higher, so I might just drill another hole down here and find that I just want 1 down here, because I am in the lower bolt over there. So this is riding a bit higher, so this is like the upper hole. So I might add a lower hole 2 down here, just to maybe about here. I'll figure it out. I'll measure this one, which here, I'll do it right now. And the lower hole is about 2 inches over, so it's 2 inches down. So I'm a little high. So 2 inches down is where it is on the other one. Right about here. There we go. 2 inches down from that lip is where you're going to drill it. So technically about here in here. The no big deal. 2, they went, it looks like, let's see, that is the lower hole, the 2-inch hole. So as you can see on this one, they did a higher hole and then the 2-inch hole, and that one comes to the 2 inches down. And whenever you cut your holes, you just drill a hole on both ends, and then with your jigsaw cut straight across. That's how I got these straight lines, with the jigsaw. The same jigsaw I used with the metal bit to cut. The more teeth the better, and go slow to cut the side pieces. I just used it, and I'll take a file and file it. It doesn't really need it. It's not going to hurt it any. But, so that's that. Now, getting this shape, make sure the aluminum, the 10 gauge aluminum you get, is a 50-50 mix. So this piece will rivet on here. I'm going to get a riveter and try and rivet it. And I'm going to get some little screws because the rivets popped off. I'm going to do at least 3 little screws and a few rivets. I'll show when I do that part. But this piece is a different top piece. I remade it. The other piece, as I used the router and I didn't make a jig to hold it in, so it kind of got away from me. Not that I can't use that piece. I'll probably cut a bigger track in that side and a thinner track on the other side and still be able to use it in case I lose another one. I'm not going to go making another whole one. But so all that's left is to drill 6 little holes here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 holes. Put in at least 6 holes maybe. How many rivets did they put in? They put in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rivets. All the rivets popped off. And then I just put 3 little bolts in there, and it's never going anywhere. I might just get 3 little 5 little bolts and just put bolts in there, because with little lock washers and some Loctite on it, it'll never be a problem. I just know the rivets popped off, so I'll see what it costs for a rivet gun. But I'm definitely going to at least put 3 small bolts in there. Okay, so on the old one, this piece here, the bottom piece, this piece that we made, measure up from the bottom. So I'm going to take this 2 3/8, measure up from the bottom, 2 3/8. I'm going to take the tire off, I'm pretty sure. Maybe not when I drill the holes. We'll see. So, ooh, a nice good straight zone. Okay. So that's where the bottom of this is going to sit, which will leave me enough room to move a bolt up if I ever get when I get a bigger tire. I'm going to scooch it up just a little more than that line. And then what I think I'm going to do is clamp this right there. And now I got a rivet which has, I think I'm going to use an 8-inch rivet. I can always step it up. I'm going to do 3 rivets on the top, and then below those rivets, let me get one of my pockets. There it is. And then I also got three washers with lock washers, 3 nuts. Pretty sure these are the same size. They're really just small little washers and nuts. because I'm going to do 3 of these at the bottom and 3 rivets at the top. This right here has got just 3 nuts holding it like this, because it had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rivets in it, but this broke off. So the rivets are still there, like in the holes, I guess, for a left to right support, but they weren't holding this on it. The only thing holding this on are those 3 nuts. So I'm definitely going to put 3 nuts at the bottom and 3 rivets at the top, but these rivets will actually hold. I'm just going to go with the 1/8 inch rivet. So there's the bit. It doesn't have to be so I'm going to do the rivets at the top. Okay. Now, I got these rivets set here. Small, medium, larger. I can always go to a larger rivet if it ever breaks off. I can always make another one. I got lots of material, but I'm pretty sure the 3 nuts are going to hold it. I'm putting these rivets in just to keep it. Pretty sure these went in this way. Perfect. Yeah, so you can see I got that 1 rivet in there. And I'm pretty sure if I feel down here, yeah, it goes all the way through. So I'm going to drill 3 more of those. Might do 4. How many they got in here? I got 2 at the top and then 3, and I'm gonna do 3 of these and 3 nuts. So I'm gonna do one on this other side, make sure it's all lined up. Center. I might just rivet it and hammer drill. Come on, get in the hole. I should just snip those off now. Oh, that's not the right size that's in it. Of course. So this 3rd one down. One, 2, I'm guessing this one. Well, actually, is this it? Might be it. Because the smaller one's down here, so this would be the 2nd side up. Let me just check the small ones. to see if it fits. Just takes a second, because they got 4 sizes. The large one comes on it, then it goes here, here, here. So large, then it works up 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. This would be the one here, but just because I can, let's see, that slide on there. I'm pretty sure the rods are all the same. I'm going to put this one back at the top. And let's do a quarter turn. There we go. This one, we'll take off the large one and we'll set that aside. Pink. That springs up. I guess you gotta pull the handle to get it started. Yes, it did. Should have cut it off, shouldn't it? Oh, I guess it did, maybe. I guess it's supposed to. Oops. Something. Oh. They just cut the top of it off. Which I don't get. Let me try this one. There we go. That one it pulled out. Got that rivet in good. This one I'm gonna have to do by hand. Get some different pliers for that. Let's get one in the center here. Sure it's sitting flush. There's nothing sticking up. There we go. All the way down. Oh. So I don't know what I'm going to do with this one because it doesn't want to grab it. Maybe if I lift up on it with some pliers, right there, that, maybe I can get it still. Oh, shit. I wonder if I can pull the whole thing out. I think it locked it just didn't pull the rod. I gotta grab some pliers. Hold on a second. Okay, I just took out that whole rivet. We're gonna make sure it's all the way down. Perfect. Okay. I think we'll do just 3 more rivets because they seem to be holding, and if they ever come loose, I'll keep these bolts. I could always re-rivet it with a fatter, bigger rivet, but I'm gonna go ahead and throw 3 more in. Well, okay, that's 3. Okay, so they did 5 rivets and it popped off on me. I think there was actually, I put those 3 screws in and I don't remember if the 3 screws, but I'm gonna go ahead and just put in these holes just a little bit wider, just a hair. Get the nibbles out of it. Gotta get all those extra burrs off. Not really widening the hole, just okay. That's the one that was shorter. So we're just gonna go ahead and boom, boom. We're gonna go ahead and put 6, 9 rivets in it. And if I'll have the bolts that I could always do later. I didn't have the rivet gun when I repaired that one, but this way I'll be sure that with all these rivets in it, it's going to be good and tight. Whatever comes off, like I said, I'll have those screws. This was only $5 for this rivet gun, and in my opinion, it's already paid for itself at Harbor Freight. And now you can see that is not going anywhere and riveted on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Stronger than ever, and if it ever does come off, I'll have the screws to put in like the original one. So that's the measurement up, and here's the original product. As you can see, like I said, I might add an extra hole, but and this one, like that riveted. So, boom. That'll fit on there. Push in, slide down, tighten down. I think I'm going to add some holes, 2 more holes here and here. Put one there and there. Alright, that's all. So if you have any questions, please sure to ask, and please remember to like and subscribe. I didn't get it all in the video making the second one because I messed up on that first one here, which I don't think it's totally messed up. I think I could make it work, but you just want to drill this right here, just big enough for your bolt, whatever bolts you buy here, to go in the back. Like I say, I bought deeper ones than the original. Don't come out as far. It really isn't gonna matter. At all with the lock washer. Once it's on, I think it'll be good and dandy. But that's how I made one $5 rivet gun down here. It's just take your time with the aluminum. I'd say this is your hardest piece. You drill, you know, that's about the size of the tip of my finger. Put my pinky in the hole. You know, my nail goes through. It's a decent sized hole. Probably if I measured the lines that I did between, and it doesn't have to be exact. 1, 2, 3/8, and it could be a ½ inch. If I measured what I cut, ½ inch there, and a little less than half on this one. It's really not going to matter as long as your bolt can slide up and down to clamp down on the bolt. Those were the first 2 holes I drilled because I put this plate on the wrong side. Flipped it the other way, which shifted the holes over. So make sure you got that inner bend part that you hold up to you, you know, whichever way. Earlier in the video, and I showed you what the degree is from square. You want to, there, let me get it square. But if I hold both of them up here, tire to tire, I'm sure you'll be able to see they're exactly, really close to the same. You know, tire's bigger on this one, the original one. I do suggest buying a couple 13-inch tires with bearings if you're gonna, you know, because I believe that's a 13, might even be a 14-inch. Let me measure the tire that comes on it. The one that comes on it is about a 13 and a half, which is the size of a lot of the tires for hedge trimmers. If you know, the things that you push, and you can find them at Tractor Supply. They come 13 5/8 tire with bearings, and they're made for pushing your hedge trimmer, and I believe you can get 2 of them. They're $19.99 plus shipping and tax, whatever, 45 bucks delivered to your store, and then you pick them up. Unless you want to pay the shipping, might be 55, but I saw those at Tractor Supply. I'm probably going to just change. For now, I think this 12-inch tire will work. Eventually, because this tire's cracked, the one that I didn't lose in the lake, and it doesn't have bearings on this wheel. But I'm pretty sure I'm going to put these on the boat and be able to do what I did with the other one, besides drilling 2 more holes lower down. I put those holes up higher, which are pretty much like these 2 upper holes. So whatever bolts you use here, these carriage bolts, see, they've cut square holes, and what I did was cut a round hole, and then I hammered the carriage bolt down because it was just slightly bigger, and that bolt is in there tight. And it doesn't matter if it ever comes loose because it'll move around. But I could always take a little hand file and get in there and try and square those up if it becomes an issue. But I just held it down flat and bam, bam with the hammer. And I always keep a hammer with my tools on my boat. So if I have to tap that in with the hammer, if it comes loose, I don't know. I believe I'm going to put 2 more holes. Give you that measurement. I'm going to say about 2.5, because I think that's what these are at. What I did the original ones at. These original ones are at 2, and these work just fine strapping my boat down and locking this down. So 2 inches, and the ones I have on here now feel a little bit high, so they're 2 1/4. So I could just put a hole right below it, and I think I'll do that just because I like the height of that, and I know that height works. And what does it matter if I got 5 holes in this? I mean, you know, in this plate, as long as it's lined up, and these can, once you put this on the bottom of the boat and you push this down and you clamp down these screws tight to hold it where you have it. I might just try it like this. I mean, that does stick out a little bit. I could just put it, I'm pretty sure it ain't going anywhere once it's in. I'll probably just test it the way it is before I even drill a hole. And it'll only take a second to drill those other 2 holes. So that being said, please like and subscribe. Oh, sorry, I had to go visit my mom at the hospital, but if you have any questions, please remember to ask. This is again making a porta-boat dolly wheel. It's not a complete science. I don't have a jigs made up or anything. I just took my time, and those measurements that are going to be in the video are what I used to come close. So if you kind of gauge those and the shapes, you can see, you know, where I measured up and that shape. And if you look at theirs, I might have to go a little bit wider here, like lift up on that. You'll be able to play with it. Like this is the other one I made. You just want to kind of try to put that 90 in first, and then slowly work over and use a 2x4. And you can always stick the 2x4 in and pry it open a little more if you need it to get it out. Is this the one I made? Yeah. But as you can see, one last time, I put them, they're gonna do the job. And let me see if I measure up on the one they have, it's an inch, and this is here, let me see, I'd say it's an inch and 7/8, and mine, I'm going off of the metal here because I'm measuring that one out, which is going to make it an 1/8 inch. Hold on, let me loosen the screws. The wheel's rolling in my leg. Let me see. Gotta get this loosened up. There we go. And this one, so inch and 5/8, inch and 5/8. A little bit more, just a hair more than 5/8. I mean, that's your opening. It's a 2x4, a little bit more, and you can always widen it, you know. And the depth here on the one I made is just under 2, and the depth on the one they made is about 1 3/4 inches. but putting it on the boat and clipping it on and sliding this piece down, that's just your upper lip of your boat. It's just going to hold it better. You know, I still want to put these screws a little bit lower, I think, but I'll give that time. Here, I'm going to set them both up here against the door and flip them. Sorry, I got a shoe on the floor there. But other than the wheel being different, it's really the same thing. So again, please like and subscribe, and thanks for watching. I'll try to bring you more stuff like this, fabricating and making things. This is not a complete science, and I'm not an expert, and I didn't make a jig for it, but it's something I think anybody can do with a little bit of patience and time. I would say buying the one wheel, we got about 60 bucks into it, and making, and there's enough to make two. If I spent another $23, I'd bought two wheels, and then the wheels would have matched on both sides. So if you just want to make them, I think for 80 bucks you can make them. Maybe 90, make both of them, or you could just pay 320 bucks and shipping for some new ones, or if you're reordering, I think they said they'd give them to me for 220 bucks, but I like the challenge and try to make it. So if you're like me and you just want to make yours, I hope this video helps you. Thanks for watching, and giving it a thumbs up really helps, and share with anybody you know that has a porta-boat. You know, it does take work. If you're not willing to put in a little bit of time and work, it's not that much to have them make them, and they make a good quality dolly. I've had no problem with these other than them floating, trying to put it on in the water, and you never want to leave them on when you're in the water, because it will lift up and fall straight down and sink to the bottom of the lake. But if this helps anybody, I hope so. Thanks so much.